Today's conversation is about one of the hardest things in retail to get right. Connecting what happens in the headquarters with what actually happens on the store floor. I'm joined by Ryan Holm. He's a Divisional Vice President of Retail Innovation and Operation at Helzberg. Ryan sits right at the intersection of strategy, technology, and frontline reality, helping one of the most iconic jewelry brands in the US modernize how it operates without losing the human side of the experience. Selling diamonds is deeply emotional, and technology can either elevate the moment or get in the way. In this conversation, we talk about how to support frontline teams, how to bridge the gap between headquarters and stores, and how to use innovation in a way that truly serves both people and customer. Here's Paula Macadi, and this is episode 104 of my show. Welcome to Off Bounds. Ryan, welcome to Off Bounds. Welcome to our studio in New York.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We have some interesting stuff here, huh?
We do, yeah. We have some sparkly things here on the table.
They're not diamonds, but you can only learn that if you work very hard.
Yes, can't buy this.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So for context for everybody, we are recording this on January 10th, one day before NRF starts, and we Offbounds got the Retail Voice Award, and you got what? The Person of the Year.
Yeah, the Retail Partner Person of the Year. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Talk about how you got that very
Sounds
soon.
good. Can we give a shout out to Vicky Cantrell for the VIP Awards?
Absolutely. That was a fantastic
incredible
event.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And just the community she's built there has been really great. Like the VIP Connect events are so much fun.
It feels like we're going home.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, finally seeing everyone. It's like we waited the whole year for that moment.
It's a retail class reunion. Yeah.
Yes, and that's the first time I've come out with something special. A
Likewise.
souvenir, a nice souvenir.
Yes.
It was your first too?
First one, yeah.
Nice. Well, let's talk about then what makes you the Person of the Year.
Yeah.
But before that, let's talk about what you do. So you are the DVP of Innovation, Retail Innovation, and your title is very long.
DVP of Retail Innovation and Operations.
At Helzberg.
Helzberg, that's right, yes.
So why don't you tell us about Helzberg and what it is, how many stores it has, and how is the US operations?
Yeah. So Helzberg is a retail jewelry. We're a full-service jeweler in the United States. We operate 161 stores, and we're owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Been in business for 111 years, which is incredible. And really, I would say our distinction, I guess, in the marketplace is one, that Berkshire Hathaway ownership. We are a member of the American Gem Society, which is a voluntary membership that is purely dedicated to the protection of the retail consumer. So that organization sets standards for the education of our frontline workers, as well as just ethics and integrity in the industry. So we're very proud of that. And because we're in New York, I have to tell one more thing.
Sure.
So 111 years, we were not always owned by Berkshire Hathaway. We were a family company, and our founder's grandson, Barnett Helzberg Jr., found himself on the streets of New York in 1995 and saw his idol across the street and flagged him down and ran over to Warren Buffett and pitched selling him the business in a chance encounter on the streets of New York. And now, if you want to read about that, he put a book out. It's like 70 pages, very easy read. It's called What I Learned Selling to Warren Buffett. So
wow. So,
super cool.
Yeah, basically we need another episode just to talk about this story.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Very good way to start. How many stores do you have now in the US?
161.
161.
Yes.
And I think your role then, explain about what do you do? What is your day-to-day job? So we understand how this heritage and innovation works together.
Well, I started out in the field, so managing stores and then regions for us, or territories. And really during COVID kind of found a niche for bridging the gap between tech and Frontlines. And so really my role today is all about partnership for any tech that our frontline employees will use.
Interesting. But I think that will make a lot of sense for me thinking about any other type of retail. But you're selling very expensive items, diamonds. What is specific about this market? Because it's such an emotional purchase. How is a normal customer journey?
Yeah, the customer journey is a little bit different in jewelry than it is in softlines retail. So I would say that a great sales associate in regular retail is going to convert more sales for you, which is great. A great jewelry sales associate is going to start a lifelong relationship with customers. And that's where it really makes a difference. It's a very emotional purchase. I don't think customers typically buy an engagement ring just because they found the best value somewhere. It's typically that they are really nervous and anxious and excited to memorialize their love for someone. I mean, they're going to ask their special person to spend the rest of their lives with them. And when they're going to pick out what that item is that's supposed to carry that sentiment, they want to buy that from someone that they feel like understands their love story, their significant other. And so our associates play a really critical role in the success of our business.
So you're saying that it's not necessarily the jewelry itself that is the product that people are buying. They're buying the emotion that you are giving.
I think that's a big part of it. And of course, the value, the quality product, the right thing has to be there. But that's almost a prerequisite to making sure that the customer feels like this piece is adequately going to be able to convey the love I'm feeling for this person I'm about to gift this to.
And how long is usually the sales cycle?
It depends. I mean, some
Could it
customers...
I don't think it's impulsive, right?
No, it's usually not impulsive, but it can be like a one trip to the store, maybe a visit to a website, and then come into the store and buy that day. But very oftentimes it could be 6 or 7 trips in and out of a store. We do custom engagement rings, so sometimes that process can be even more involved with exchanging, renderings and photos and seeing wax molds of the piece being created.
You were talking about engagement rings, but I think you have other things that you sell, right? Why don't you tell us about the after?
Yeah, I mean,
the first one.
After, I would say it's really important that we then foster that relationship, right? We sell everything from fashion jewelry to commemorate holiday, a birthday, an anniversary, wedding bands. We sell everything from pre-owned Rolex, pre-owned handbags, as well as, demi-fine jewelry and lab-grown diamonds even.
I'm so curious. I wish I could follow one of your associates for a day to see how that works. Because I think once you build the relationship with the customer, you kind of probably have the systems already to help you navigate what the customer needs. But how would be the first purchase of an engagement ring, for example? Because you're not selling to one person, you're selling to another.
Yeah, that's very true.
Somebody else is gonna use it that someone is buying. What would be a trick in the diamond industry?
I would say the biggest thing is just our associates have to be endlessly curious and empathetic and interested and make every customer feel like they are the most important person in the world in their love story and really get to know not just the person in front of them, but the recipient of the gift the person's shopping for.
So it's almost it's so personal and emotional and you have to be this deep curious. How technology can help that?
Can I actually tell you a story to answer this question? All right, so when I first started at Helzberg, this is about 10 years ago, I walked into the store that was training me and I met the most wonderful leader. I have so much respect for her. Her name's Christie Griffin. She's one of our senior store managers. And when I walked in and met her, she was so enthusiastic about the brand and about meeting me. And she just carried this enthusiasm for helping her customers find the perfect gift. And then she would just effortlessly move from helping a customer to providing training and coaching and feedback to her staff. It's amazing the way that she did that. And I could tell she was genuinely getting fulfillment and enjoyment out of these interactions she was having. She was so passionate about it. And I've never told her this, but at one point in my career at Helzberg, I actually questioned if this was the right job for me because I couldn't do what she does at all. But during that training, that first couple of days, we went and grabbed some papers and she's like, hey, we need to set goals for next month for our associates. And so we went to her office and we were starting to set the goals and she was pulling reports and printing things out. I was like, how long does this take you every month? And she just said, an hour or two. It was no big deal that she does that every month. And yet I could see that wasn't her skill set, her talent, her passion. She did it because it was necessary and it was important to the business and her team. But fast forward a couple months down the road, and I actually developed a process to help automate that. It was rudimentary, it used Excel, but I got to roll that out to my region of stores at the time. And I got that fulfillment that I watched Christie get from selling a diamond or interacting with her team out of knowing that I just saved people like Christie an hour or two of doing administrative work that they can then do what I could never replicate, which is have that emotion, that human connection with people. So to get back to the question, I think the answer is technology is never going to replace that human connection, but it can help get administrative burden out of the way for the people that are really good at it.
So they can do exactly what they like to do, what they enjoy to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Christie is a constant motivation for me. It's like a human face, and there's tons of Christies out there, but she's who I think of when I get to roll out a new initiative that I know will help put those people who are really good at empathizing with both their teams as leaders and with our customers on the front line.
So it's like when you're looking for new technology, how does it work? Are you looking for new technologies and see how that can be applicable and make the life of your employees easier? Or is like, they're having this problem, I need to find a technology that can solve that?
I think it's a little bit of both, if I'm being honest. A lot of times it is lived experience of knowing these are pain points that we're trying to solve. And just because you recognize them doesn't mean they get solved overnight. Sometimes that's a 2 or 3 year journey to, get the right systems in place to solve that problem. Other times I feel like I go to an event like NRF and some solution I'm like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that. And it's really exciting to think about how something that I never could have imagined could solve a problem for us.
And you've been 10 years in the business. You kind of understand a lot. You kind of understand a lot of the frontline and what they need. You have this specific moment in your mind every time you're looking for new technology, right?
Yeah.
How is that for the headquarters? Because I feel like a lot in retail, sometimes the headquarters are just thinking about automating a lot of things and not thinking necessarily how that's applicable in a store.
Yeah.
How does that work for your role?
Honestly, I'm really blessed to have that lived experience in this role. I think that it provides, I'm going to call it street cred. There are a ton of times that I get what I call the drive-by in the office of just people going, hey, I have this question. I know I could reach out to a store and ask. I don't want to bother them. Can you tell me how this process works in our stores? And is this going to cause friction? And how should I handle this? And I love being able to just rely on that experience to give a quick answer. I think the other thing is when I think about problems, I never solve anything alone, ever. It takes great partners as well as cross-functional partners in our store support center, our headquarters. And I think bringing that lived experience adds credibility to what's being asked for. So it would be hard to imagine doing my job successfully without.
So should I say that you are the person of the year? Because you help connect these bridges?
I think that's part of it. I think the other piece of it is treating solution providers as actual partners in the business, which is what last night's event was all about. And that's something that just came very naturally to me moving into this role. I think a lot of people who have started out working in a corporate environment do sort of feel that, I guess I'm going to keep the solution providers that just want to sell to me at arm's length. And to me, it just felt very natural to think these people can help the front lines. So whether or not they're employed by Helzberg Diamonds or they're contracted by Helzberg, it doesn't make a difference to me. They can help solve problems for our front lines.
So, and how do you select your technologies then? Because, it's a long-term investment in relationship, as you were saying.
Yeah, it very much is. I think like anyone else, right? Like references, and you really try and do your due diligence to make sure that the people you're working with have the same passion for helping frontline retail. At least in my perspective, the only thing I'm ever shopping for is technology that helps frontline teams. And a lot of our partners really do have that same lived experience.
And what are some of the exciting technologies that are supporting frontline teams that you see nowadays?
There's a lot. So one of them, I'll give a shout out to Proximity. They're our clientelling partner. You mentioned that relationship and the customer journey. That's how we actually are able to allow our associates to stay in close contact with customers. So they can actually text clients during the buying process, or even email just to stay in touch for birthday, anniversaries, that sort of thing. They can even create e-commerce baskets on their behalf directly through the platform, which is really exciting.
For a business that is over 100 years old, has clienteling changed a lot? Is this evolving? Because I feel several of the retailers that came here, they have recently started engaging with clienteling. So and I think in a high product value environment, this is very important.
I think luxury retailers were probably the first to market with true organized clientelling programs, but it's interesting seeing how many retailers all over are adopting clientelling now. I will say I've watched it evolve from, getting out cards and handwriting a note with a stamp and hoping you don't ruin a surprise to now what we have, which is this just really robust platform that helps keep track of everything.
And what are some of the technologies? I mean, like we can't finish this interview without talking about AI.
Yes.
Can AI support the frontline? How do you see this tool supporting your work?
I'm going to give 2 examples.
Okay.
So one is our workforce management partner, Legion. So they do automated scheduling using AI. And it really has lifted a huge burden for our store managers. So our associates can directly give input to their schedules and their time off requests. And then the AI actually takes our demand drivers and creates a schedule that's optimized to support the business while allowing associates flexibility. So that's one that's made a huge difference for us. In fact, our managers have reported a 66% drop in amount of time spent on scheduling every week. Super exciting.
A big,
huge. The other big one is Zipline, is our communications partner. And they house our resource library as well as our LMS. So think about our policy library. They have an AI tool called Zippy, and it's essentially a large language model. But what's exciting is it only has access to our resource library. So if you think about a practical use case, if you're a frontline associate and you have a question about using vacation time, right? In the old world, you could go find the vacation time policy and look up and read it to understand your question. In this new world, you can just ask Zippy, or Coach as we've branded it, hey, when am I eligible to use this vacation time, and just get an instant answer with sources cited. And because it only has access to our resource library, you don't see it hallucinate the way you see traditional large language models do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because then it follows the company rules and
Yeah.
I can see how that can be very helpful.
Yes.
Is there any objection? Like you found out about the solution and you're like, guys, I'm going to solve your life. How is that to get the buy-in of the store associates?
Yeah, that's actually another thing I'm really excited to have the role I have, because I think that time that I spent in the stores, I have relationships of people that I can call on. We have just a ton of incredible tenure at Helzberg, so it's not like the people I worked with in the field aren't still out there for me to call upon. So being able to have that sounding board first of saying, I haven't lost touch, have I? This would be helpful, right? As an initial conversation is great. And then I think on the larger rollouts, when you get to things like pilot and a full-scale rollout, just having that credibility of being able to show my face and talk specifically about what this is going to alleviate and not talk about it more broadly or generalize it all, but specifically, I think really helps with initial adoption.
Yeah, because I feel like there is sometimes a frustration like, I've been doing this for 15 years. You want to change. This is like how I do. So, but if you have the experience, it's like, listen, I've done it. I'm going to reduce the time by X. So I'm going to make your life easier.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what are you looking for? We are one day ahead of NRF. What are you looking for in terms of technology for your frontline?
This year, I'm just really curious to see what's going to be at the show. I think the past 2 years at NRF have been a lot of buzz about AI everything, right?
Agentic AI.
Yes, exactly. And I've seen this big shift in the last year where there's actual practical use cases. People are starting to treat AI as, yes, it's going to be a very important part of the future, but because I put .ai at the end of my company, doesn't matter. I need to show you how we're actually going to leverage that to provide value. So there's more and more out there that I think is really practical and fun to see. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's out there.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the buzz, at least from my perspective on how we use AI on Offbounds, there are a lot of things that is like, it's 95% good.
Yes.
But it's this 5% that is missing that make the product not good. Like I can't use it yet. I needed to fix this 5% so it can be actually useful. So we still do a lot of the manual work because AI can't figure out that 5%. So let's
completely agree. Yes.
So let's see if I don't know, if this year is going to be the year we're going to have more agents doing 100% of the job. I mean, 100% of what it's promised.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah. And what do you think retailers should be doing to connect more? Like, you have all this experience, but I think like retailers have there are retailers that have massive number of stores, a lot more employees in different markets. What do you think are good thoughts for them to have when it comes to innovation for the frontline?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is finding your early adopters, right? Your innovators, your people who are excited about that. And I'll admit one of the mistakes I made coming into this role is picking a group for a proof of concept based on my idea of their channel or this set of stores or this market is good for this test, when in reality, the best way to do a proof of concept is the people who are excited to run the proof of concept, right? Find your innovators, the people who are bored and excited about technology, and build a volunteer army of people willing to get on board with that, because word in retail frontline spread fast. Those connections are deep. They all talk, they know each other. And so
by the end of the day, everybody's going to know.
Exactly. Yes. And so if you can get those innovators in the field excited about a new tool, it will spread and make adoption easier if you go to roll it out.
Is there a key skill, like a key characteristics that you look at when like, that's an innovator? Like, is there
I think it's just it's simply enthusiasm, right? And I think skill set matters much less than people who are just eager to play with and willing to try and break things.
You've been 10 years in the company. You just won an award for doing a fantastic job connecting technology and retail and being the bridge between the stores and the headquarters. What would be your advice for people that want to follow this type of career?
I would say be curious and vulnerable. Those are the two big things. So don't be afraid to admit what you don't know. I spend a lot of my day just using AI and Google to learn new terminology I wasn't aware of. I'm not a technologist trained from the start. It's just kind of I've fallen into that. And so that curiosity and then the vulnerability to ask questions and receive feedback from the field and accept it at face value. And a lot of times that's hard when a lot of time, effort, and energy has gone into a solution or a tool. And maybe it's not being received the way you thought it would be. And being able to hear that and take steps to correct it, I think is really important.
Yeah, don't stick too much to what you thought you'd be, basically. Yeah. It hurts sometimes.
It does hurt.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you were so convicted that will work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You have to let your pride go sometimes for that.
See what the data is saying to you and what you wanted to say.
Yes, exactly.
Ryan, such a pleasure. We've been trying to do this for a while. It's so good to be in New York, and I'm so happy we were able to make it with 2 trophies.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Congratulations. Thanks for having me on.